When I did my canning corned beef recipe video last month, I had a request for the recipe. And I promised I would do it again before St. Patty's Day. Now, today is the 8th. I would like for it to go 10 days. It'll probably go 9 because St. Patty's Day is the 17th, I believe. It's also a Friday. So this will be ready for us for St. Patty's Day. We may cook it the day before or the day after, depending on if I'm working or not. I actually got my recipe from Lisa Sutton at Sutton's Daze. This is how she does hers, and it's worked for me very well. So I just have it scribbled on a piece of scrap paper here, an envelope. I like to use those so I don't waste paper for my just little scribbles, and then if I lose track of it, I'll just write it down again next time I need to make it. So to start with, I've got a gallon of water in there, and I used bottled water. My water here has a lot of chlorine in it, and I've noticed that when I use it for the corned beef, it does add a funny taste. So I used bottled water this time. I just used regular distilled water. And I need 1.5 cups of kosher salt, and I'm just using regular Morton kosher salt. I hope I have enough here. It is on the stove top. I will warm it enough to just dissolve everything. It doesn't have to be hot. It doesn't have to boil. It doesn't have to, just enough. Look at that. So I've got 1.5 cups of kosher salt. I need 1/2 cup of brown sugar. I'm just using, I have light brown sugar. You could use dark. She doesn't specify, and I'm not sure what she uses. Always remember with brown sugar, you need to pack it to get a correct measure. Scraping the bottom of the barrel with this too. All right, I'm going to call that 1/2 cup. There we go, brown sugar. 1/4 cup of pickling spice. This is just one we got on Amazon. I mean, you can get pickling spice just about anywhere. It's not hard to find. I'll put a link in for you. There we go. 4 cloves of garlic. I didn't mince my own garlic this time. I have minced garlic in the fridge, so I'll just use that. Anywhere from 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon is a clove. I guess it depends on if you've got a big clove or a little clove. 3. We'll call that a clove each. So that's 4 cloves. And then I need 4 teaspoons of pink curing salt. Dry this measure before I put it in there. So we also got this on Amazon. Prague powder, pink curing salt. It's the same thing. And these have, I believe, sulfites in them. You want to be very careful with them. You don't want to put too much in. Salt, sodium nitrite, FD&C number red. Yeah. So sodium nitrite is a toxic chemical used in accordance with your curing recipe, and always measure the cure accurately. So you don't want to mess around with this stuff. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to turn this on low heat. And like I said, I'm just going to warm it up enough to dissolve all the salt. So that is it for now. I'm going to stir this until it dissolves, and then I'm going to set it aside and let it get back down to room temperature. You do not want to put your meat in while it's hot. It'll cook your meat, and that's not what you want. So I'm going to be back after this is dissolved and cooled, and I'll show you the rest of it. It's been a couple hours since I started. My brine has cooled off. It is room temperature. And it's time to put the meat in. Now, traditionally, it's made with brisket, but honestly, the price on brisket anymore is just so ridiculous that I can't see doing it. And there's so much fat on there, it's just such a waste. So I actually picked up some boneless shoulder roast for $3.99 a pound. I felt that was a good price for my area. It has some fat on it, but it's not super fatty. And honestly, when I either use it or can it, I can trim some of that fat off. So I'm just going to put that in my brine. I have 2 of them. Let's see, that one was, I don't know. Just a hair over 3 pounds. And this one is just a little bit under 3 pounds. So I've got about 6 pounds of meat going in here. I'm hoping they are both going to fit in the bottom there. Just nest together. Oh, that's perfect. And I am going to grab a, think I might use a pot lid in there. Oh, actually, I'm going to use this plate because I think it'll fit in there just perfectly. Oh, maybe not. No, if I put that in, I won't be able to get it back out. Let's put that back where I got it from. All right. We'll go back to the pot lid. So I am just going to use a pot lid in there. That's where I was going to go to start with. That's just to hold the meat down under the brine. So that's going to hold the meat down. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. For me, it's going to be 9 days. You want to go, I've done it 7 days. I've done it 10 days. You don't want to go any longer than 10 days, really. So this is going to go in the refrigerator. I'm going to take the lid out and mix them around and flip them over a couple times in the next probably 9 days. And we'll have corned beef. So that's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you so much for requesting the recipe. This is how I do it. We will probably cook this fresh. I don't know, I might can one of them, but I've got a bunch of cabbage from the garden that we will probably have corned beef and cabbage for St. Patrick's Day. So thanks so much for joining me. If you like these videos, please like, comment, share. By all means, leave me a comment and definitely subscribe. Thank you so much.